Hello, I'm Joan Justice, and I'm here with Dr. Larry Chang, Director of Science and Implementation for the eMocha program at Johns Hopkins School of Medicine. I asked Dr. Chang to give us an update on the results of eMocha and what the future will bring for this project. Dr. Chang, tell us a little bit about the program eMocha and how you were different and maybe some of the results so far.
Sure, John. Thanks a lot for having me. I think eMocha is different. It's a smartphone platform that was developed by Johns Hopkins. And one of the differences is that not only do we have our own in-house software developers, but we have it buried within a research institution. And so our focus is really not just on developing an application, but it's also on evaluating the application and really taking a rigorous research perspective on everything we do. So I think that really enables us to very nimbly address a variety of different issues which mHealth can potentially solve, and also build up the evidence surrounding those implementation of these interventions, and really building up the evidence base for scaling up mHealth tools.
And you're all over. You're globally, and you also have projects in Baltimore. Tell us a little bit about the project with the drug users in Baltimore, because that's a good example.
Sure. This is something we're doing in collaboration with Greg Kirk and colleagues at the School of Public Health here. And in this project, we've adapted eMocha to be used by folks who have used intravenous drugs. And we're trying to track in real time their behavior. So they're actually given smartphones with an eMocha application on it. And they're asked to fill it out whenever they have any sort of drug use behavior. And additionally, we're also able to track their locations. So together, by knowing their real-time behaviors as well as their locations, the idea is, can we better target public health interventions at them in the future? And I think this is going to be a paradigm that's going to become more and more prominent in the future. We already see it a bit with advertising, but I think for health messaging, it's also going to be very powerful.
And globally, you're doing a lot of data gathering with these applications. With the community workers, when they go to visit families, they're actually gathering a lot of data, and I imagine that's going to be very useful.
Yeah, I think so. And we've done some field trials in Uganda, for instance, and we found that the officers using eMocha-equipped smartphones have really appreciated it because it makes their job a lot more efficient overall. You can imagine some folks are carrying, thousands of sheets of paper, and now instead they just have a phone where they can ask their questions and have that information collected. Usually in a much cleaner and more efficient manner. So it's been pretty well received. We also have a project in Afghanistan, which has just gotten started. And that's been very interesting because a lot of their concerns were related to security. And having a phone which you can password protect, etc., rather than having documents that, if found on you, may be compromising, has been a significant issue and a benefit for them.
Yeah, oh, I can imagine. Sure. What do you think is what thoughts do you have about the use of mobile technology in developing nations in general?
Sure. Well, we've already seen the incredible boom in very basic mobile phones, where kind of these basic, I guess you call them feature phones or dumb phones, have exploded in uptake. But I think the next real shift is going to be the growth in smartphones, just like we've seen here in the U.S. And that's going to be the way that low and middle income countries are going to be accessing the internet. And with the powers of smartphones to really do so much more, I think you're going to see a lot of really creative and innovative ways to use mHealth in the near future.
What about the cost of the smartphones, though?
Sure, that's always a concern, but just like we've seen with the more basic phones, the cost of smartphones have been going down dramatically. And with with players from China and India, manufacturers getting involved, we're seeing like Android-equipped smartphones already approaching the $100 price mark easily. And I expect that price point to continue to drop over the next few years.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Chang. We'll definitely keep in touch to find out more about eMocha and future projects. Thanks.
Thank you, Jen.